In the original Ruby and Sapphire, there are two version exclusives found in Granite Cave. Mawile was exclusive to Ruby, while Sableye was exclusive to Sapphire. Neither were very good and were basically just there to fill the decks. It wasn't until later generations that their full power was realized, with each of them getting Mega Evolutions. Both became big threats in the metagame. In Emerald Elite Redux, they've been given brand new Redux forms, including their Mega Evolutions, with their types now swapping. Are these new forms improvements from the original, and do their Megas still hold up as big threats? Let's see what they can do. Mawile was never that great. Early game it was fine, but without its Intimidate ability, it had little use. It wasn't even until Gen 6 that it got its amazing Fairy Steel type combination. Redux Mawile has certainly changed this and has become more useful. With more attack and speed than the original, she can do damage but still only has a base stat total of 410. So how can it be effective? It has access to some really good abilities that now cover up some of its weak spots, starting with the 3 abilities she can choose from. Receiving one of the best offensive abilities, Adaptability, her stab moves are now multiplied by 2 rather than 1.5. Since she's a dark ghost type now, moves like Sucker Punch, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Fangs, and Crunch all receive this bonus and are quite powerful. Sucker Punch being especially useful with its priority. Speaking of priority, she can now have the ability Dazzling. Dazzling is a very useful ability which blocks priority moves while she's on the field. A lot of Pokemon carry priority moves to finish off Pokemon, and Dazzling will protect her and her ally in double battles. Last ability is the direct opposite to base Mawile's Intimidate, which is Scare. Scare will lower the opponent's special attack on entry. With such low special defense, that can really help her survive more hits. Still, her power level is concerning, but luckily her innate abilities can improve this. Strongjaw will boost biting moves by 50%, and she gets access to a lot of them. Iron, Psychic, and Jagged Fangs, as well as Fire, Ice, and Thunder Fang. With Adaptability, Crunch and Shadow Fangs are 180 and 163 base power respectively. The damage is even crazier if it's against a Fairy type Pokemon. Thanks to the ability Fey Hunter, she will be doing 50% more damage to Fairy type Pokemon, which is perfect since Fairy is her only weakness. Her last innate is very useful, especially since her speed stat isn't very high. Opportunist gives all of her moves +1 priority if the opponent is at 50% HP or below. This makes her a perfect revenge killer, especially against Pokemon using a Focus Sash to set up. And her Dazzling ability will prevent them from going first with their priority. Focus Sash, Swords Dance, and Sucker Punch is a great combo for her as well. Eventually though, you're just going to need more power. That's when Redux Mega Mawile comes out. Big boost to both defense and speed stats. Only a small bump to attack, but that isn't a concern, thanks to her exclusive new ability, Dead Power. Dead Power increases her attack by 1.5, making her attack essentially 157, the same as Duskmane Necrozma, as well as giving every contact move she uses a 20% chance to curse the target, if they live that is, which is much harder to do thanks to her multi-headed ability, meaning each move will hit you as many times as she has heads, so 3 times. 2 extra chances for effects like getting cursed or flinched. Also, it's great for killing sashed Pokemon. She also has her Strongjaw ability, which those moves are still viable. Lastly, she gets Shadow Tag. There is no escaping from this monster. With 3 immunities, Pokemon could easily just lose because they can't touch her. Redux Mega Mawile is a Pokemon you'll dread seeing. I will definitely say that the base and Mega forms have been improved from the originals. Despite having no weakness when it first came out, Sableye was pretty garbage. It wasn't until Gen 5 when it got Prankster that it was actually usable. I got solid use out of it in playthroughs using moves like Will-O-Wisp and Trick. Redux Sableye follows the trend as a solid supporting Pokemon. In fact, its stats are the exact same, but it's now a Fairy Steel type. With 1 extra weakness but 7 more resistances, it's a fair trade. As far as abilities go, it still has the top tier Prankster ability. This gives all status moves +1 priority. allowing it to use Will-O-Wisp first, cutting down an opponent's attack stat, or Thunder Wave to cut down their speed. It's a little riskier, but it can even be used to put your opponents to sleep using Hypnosis. Its other ability is Magic Guard, meaning it can only be hurt by direct attacks, letting it ignore Life Orb damage, burn damage, and moves with recoil. It gets two incredible moves to take advantage of this: Light of Ruin and Steel Beam, both with 140 base power. For greater support in double battles, it has the ability Friend Guard, which will reduce all of its allies' damage by 50%. It has other great moves for doubles like Follow Me, Simple Beam, Crafty Shield, and both of the screens. For the most part, its abilities are all there to help it be a great support Pokemon, but its innates also help its damage output as well. Fairy Aura will increase its Fairy type moves by 33%. Play Rough and Moonblast are even better now. Steely Spirit will strengthen its Steel type moves by 30%. This also gets applied to its ally as well, so yet another utility in double battles. Strong moves like Iron Head and Meteor Mash are great options. For even greater support and power, we have the new Mega Redux Sableye. Both defenses go up by a large margin, 120 in defense and 130 in special defense. The abilities it has to choose from have also been changed, and is a Mega Evolution that has 3 different options. Friend Guard and Fairy Aura are now options, but the third option, Magic Bounce, is new. Magic Bounce will reflect any status move. If they try to burn it or paralyze it, or try and lower its stats, it pulls an Uno reverse card and the effects hit the user instead. Now, Prankster is an innate ability, so it can run both Friend Guard and Prankster to help its allies in double battles. It still retains Steely Spirit, so it can deal damage if it needs to, but like Redux Mawile, it gets the ability Fey Hunter, so it can really destroy fairy types. While on its own it might not be the best use for a Mega, it can be a really solid option for double battles. Late game has some important ones, and it's certainly going to be worth using. Overall, it's pretty interchangeable with the original. You unlock both of these Redux forms very early on and are not bad choices to have for your team. By the time they might get outclassed, you're able to upgrade them with their new Mega Redux forms. What do you think of these new forms? Have you tried them out, and would you use them on your team? If you liked the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as more videos will be coming soon. I will see you in the next one. Peace.